All right, next, guys. I want to talk with you a little bit about what I call numbers incognito, or in disguise. If a number wanted to hide from you, if it didn't want to be noticed, what would it look like? So I just want to point out a few things that can make your job a little bit tricky or interesting as you're trying to solve problems. And sometimes the numbers make themselves look a little more complicated than they need to. So let's point out a few for you so that you'll be prepared for when these come up. First, the number 3. You know, the number 3 is just a regular old number. It's a rational number. It's a natural counting number. But one of the ways the number 3 can look is it can look at like this, 3 over 1. It can show up as a fraction. Now, if we're talking fractions, it can also look like this, 6 over 2. That's the same value. It's worth the same. But we have to watch out for that. If I was trying to put this into my my real number system back here, well, 6 over 2 would actually go in here like this. So just a matter of perspective, like what are we looking for? What types of numbers? How can they appear? Also, it could look like this, 9 over 3, but it could be a -9 over a -3 like that. If I simplified all of that out, in the end, it would still just be a +3. So watch out for that. Something else, it could look like a square root. It could look like the square root of 9. Okay, the square root of 9 is 3. So please be careful. Okay, just watch out. I think there's a few other ones like 300%. You could have the absolute value of -3 or the absolute value of 3. All of those would still be just 3. So let's move on down to the next one. 1 over 2. 1 over 2 could be 2 over 4 or 4 over 8 or 50 over 100. We could even have 50%. But then I'd also like to point out that 1/2 could look like a square root. Okay? The square root of 1/4 is actually going to be 1/2. And if I could, I'll just take a quick moment to explain to you that the square root of 1/4 is really the same as the square root of 1 over the square root of 4. Okay, so watch out for that. Each one of those, you find the square root of them, and it ends up being 1 over 2. Okay, so something to watch out for. And as you fill in with these numbers here, and you try to place these numbers, I'm thinking especially like this guy right here. I'm wondering if you'll be able to find a spot for it on this number line, okay, or on this number system box. Okay, last one. I think 10 is going to be it's going to be real similar. 10 can be 10 over 1. It could be 1,000 over 100. It could be the square root. Oh wait, could we write that as a square root? Yeah, could be the square root of 100. Could be the absolute value of 10. Could look like that. I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of the fact that these numbers could show up in any of these forms, and they will still go onto and fit into one of these categories the same way they would as if they were just in their normal forms, like as a normal whole number or something. Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. That's part 2 of your notes. We've just completed the numbers incognito, and we're going to move on to the rest of your notes for 2.1.